2 days ago, in a truly shocking move, Tucker Carlson was fired from Fox News. Or, as the official statement claims, Tucker Carlson and Fox News have quote-unquote agreed to part ways. Now, to anyone that was actually paying attention to the media landscape over the last several years, this was indeed a shocking development, because Tucker's show was far and above the most popular program over on Fox. And actually, it was one of, if not the most popular news programs across all of cable TV. For instance, if you look at the ratings on the very week that Tucker was canned, well, you'll see that in terms of viewership, he was blowing CNN and MSNBC completely out of the water. That's, of course, not even mentioning ABC, CBS, and all the other different networks. Furthermore, financially, well, this is going to hurt Fox News quite a bit, because not only did Tucker's show bring in a cool $77 million in advertising per year, but also, right after his departure was announced, Fox's share price just tanked, and within a matter of hours, they lost close to $1 billion worth of market cap. Now, eventually, it did bounce back a little bit, but as of this filming, as of this recording, well, it's still down about $500 million. Furthermore, you might not know this, but Fox News actually has a subscription platform called Fox Nation. And while the number of Fox Nation subscribers isn't publicly known, what is publicly known is the fact that right after Tucker Carlson was given the boot, the hashtag #CancelFoxNation was trending on Twitter. Regardless, the big $900 million question that's still hanging in the air is why? Why exactly did Tucker Carlson get fired? And why was it done so abruptly? Now, at the moment, no matter what anyone says, it's actually unclear why exactly Tucker was let go, with many different news outlets claiming different reasons based upon different anonymous sources. However, as of yet, nothing has been confirmed. But with that caveat, I should mention that there is a story in the LA Times that seemed rather credible. Citing an unnamed source from within Fox News, they laid out how the decision to let Tucker go came from the very top. Let me read you just a short excerpt from this article. But before I do, I will mention that the people who run Fox News, just like the people who run any media company, they understand exactly how the news business operates. And so oftentimes, in order to shape the narrative in a certain way, they will selectively leak information to different outlets, like for instance the LA Times, in order to shape public perception of what's going on. Meaning, take what you're about to hear with a grain of salt. However, it is still worth reading. Quote, Fox News announced the stunning departure of its top-rated host on Monday with no explanation. But people familiar with the situation, who are not authorized to comment publicly, said the decision to fire Carlson came straight from Fox Corp chairman Rupert Murdoch, with input from board members and other Fox Corp executives. According to one person familiar with the discussions, Murdoch's son Lachlan, executive chairman of Fox Corp, and Suzanne Scott, chief executive of Fox News Media, decided late Friday that Carlson had to go. Carlson's exit is related to the discrimination lawsuit filed by Abby Grossberg, a producer fired by the network last month, according to the sources. Now, the fact that this leaker from within Fox News is claiming that the discrimination lawsuit is the real reason for Tucker's departure, it's a little bit suspect. Or rather, I should say, it's a very convenient scapegoat for what is potentially the real reason that Tucker was let go, which has to do with the fact that for the past 2 or 3 years now, his program has been ruffling the feathers of both the left and the right every night on primetime television. For instance, whether it's questioning the unaccounted for billions of dollars that we've sent to Ukraine, the Republican-Democrat uniparty establishment that got us into the Iraq war, whether it's the bipartisan push to give amnesty to millions of illegal aliens, or whether it's questioning Big Pharma, the official narrative surrounding January 6th, or the export of America's manufacturing base to China, Tucker's show was the only primetime television program that dared to call into question the mainstream consensus of both the left and the right. What was interesting about his program was that every episode, night after night, you really did not know what you were going to get. And perhaps because it was such an iconoclastic show, tearing into the establishments of both the left and the right, the Democrats and the Republicans, maybe that's why it was let go. After several years of people watching Tucker Carlson Tonight and asking themselves, how is he getting away with talking about all these things on primetime television? Well, maybe just caught up to him. Regardless, in terms of Tucker's future, well, there's probably very little for him to worry about. That's because not only will Fox probably still have to pay out the remainder of his multi-year contract, but also, already, he has several news outlets chomping at the bit to sign him on board, with OANN, just as one example, offering him north of $20 million for a contract. Furthermore, in terms of Tucker himself, well, the Daily Mail newspaper was able to catch up with the man and his wife outside of his Florida home, and they were able to get a few questions in. Here's what Tucker said while riding around in a golf cart with his wife. Quote, "Retirement is going great so far. I haven't eaten dinner with my wife on a weeknight in 7 years. And then when the reporter asked him about his future plans, he responded by simply saying this, quote, appetizers plus an entree, after which he drove away. Now, while that was obviously a joke, it does appear that Tucker does already have some future plans in place, evidenced by the fact that when you go over to his official website, a pop-up suddenly appears telling you to text a certain phone number in order to find out what he's up to next, which I'll get into right after I introduce the sponsor of today's episode, which is the company that sold me this beautiful coin. This right here is an American Walking Liberty 1-ounce gold coin. And typically, I order at least one of these from our sponsor, American Hartford Gold, every single month. The reason I do so is because, as you likely know, the inflation rate in this country is the highest that has been in, the last 40 years now. Everything like the price of food, the price of housing, the price of gas is absolutely going through the roof. And in fact, market experts like the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, he's not only predicting a recession, but he's even using words like unprecedented economic hurricane. And so listen, I absolutely do not give you any financial advice, but I would recommend that you do what I do, which is pick up the phone and call American Hartford Gold. Their super friendly staff can help you diversify your portfolio by either getting physical gold and physical silver delivered directly to your doorstep like I do, or deposited directly into your IRA and your 401k accounts. They make the entire process super simple. And actually, besides me, they have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau with quite literally thousands of satisfied clients around the country. And best of all, to our viewers, to the viewers of Facts Matter, they are currently throwing in $2,500 worth of free silver on your first qualifying order. So giving them a call is an absolute no-brainer. So pick up the phone and call 866-242-2352. That's 866-242-2352. Or text Roman to 65532. Their link will also be down in the description box below. And then let's head on back to the studio. Although I will mention that when you text that phone number, you're just added to a messaging list and you still have to wait like everyone else for updates. And so that is all we know thus far. However, having said all that, let me ask you, what do you think led to this abrupt departure? Was it the totality of all his different coverage? Was it the fact that Fox News as an organization seems to be favoring Ron DeSantis in the Republican primary versus President Trump? Did it have to do with all the pending lawsuits against Fox News, or perhaps all of the above? I'd love to know your thoughts. Please leave them in the comments section below. I'll be reading through them later tonight, as well as into the coming week. And then lastly, as I mentioned in a previous episode as well, over on Epic TV, which is our awesome no censorship video platform, well, I recently published a great interview between myself and Dr. Robert Malone, wherein we discussed quite a number of topics, but among the topics was the best protocol that Dr. Malone has come across for spike protein detox. Now, in my opinion, that interview was phenomenal. But just as Tucker had the limitations of Fox News, I have the limitations of YouTube, which is exactly why we created Epic TV, a truly no censorship video platform where you can actually go to enjoy the types of interviews that I conduct with, let's say, Dr. Robert Malone. And so if you'd like to check it out, the link will be right there at the very top of the description box. All you have to do is click on that link, head on over to Epic TV, and you can watch the interview right away. And by the way, Tucker, if you're watching this episode, please note, we will gladly host your program over on Epic TV as well. Just give us a call. And then until next time, I'm your host, Roman from the Epic Times. Stay informed, and most importantly, stay free.